Hey guys, this is your boy VegitoRED Gaming coming to you with a brand new video. Today we'll be taking a look at the jungler role and breaking down what you should and shouldn't be doing. I'll also include the characters I play when making this guide in the title too. In my case, I'm playing Achilles, so first, let's take a look at Achilles' abilities and its passive. Achilles' first ability is called Shield of Achilles. This is a clone ability with a range of 50 meters, adds a base damage of 80, and maxes out at 300. Here's a look at the range of the damage. If the enemy is within 20 meters of Achilles, it does full damage and stuns them for a duration of 1 second. If the enemy is more than 20 meters away from Achilles, the damage is reduced to 70% and the stun is taken away. On to the next ability. The next ability is Radiant Glory. This ability not only gives Achilles a percentage based protections and CC reduction, it also gives healing on all of his abilities and bonus physical power. The power is based at 10% and maxed at 20%. The max heals per ability are based at 2 and maxed to 4. The protections are based at 10% and maxed at 20, and the CC reduction is always 20%. The next ability is Combat Dash. Achilles has the ability to dash in any direction and then able to hit with a line attack after the dash. If he hits an enemy god with the line attack, Achilles can dash a second time and attack, meaning the damage can be doubled. It's based at 50 damage and maxed at 210. Now, his ultimate. Fatal Strike. Achilles jumps into the air and charges a dash. It can pass through minions and will stop if it reaches 35 meters or at the first enemy god he hits. It is an execute threshold of 30% and a base damage of 180, capping at 540. While dashing, Achilles takes 10% increased damage. If Achilles kills a god with his ability, he's able to use it a second time, much like Scylla's ult. Let's take a look at it. Last but not least, Achilles' passive, Gift of the Gods. He has the ability to either wear armor, which gives him health and protections, 25 health plus 15 per level, and 5 protections plus 1.5 per level, or not wear armor and receive movement speed and physical power, 1% movement speed plus 0.25% per level, and 3 power plus 2 per level. Now that we've looked at his abilities, let's move on towards pros and cons of playing. Pros: great sustain from heal and passive, easy to use getaway, decent range for a warrior, fast basic attack chain, easily initiate fights. Cons: quite difficult to hit his ult, execution can be stopped with Sanctuary, dodge hit can be very difficult to hit, can struggle a bit with early clear compared to other warriors or assassins. Now that we've established the pros and cons of the character, let's look at the potential build items. For jungling, Assassin's Blessing is a must-have. It gives you 35% more damage to jungle camps, healing and mana on jungle minion kills, as well as 10 pin when you max the stats. Transcendence is a good item. It gives you practically infinite mana and a nice burst of ability damage. Hydra's Lament is a very good item because you can chain basic attacks within its ability uses, especially the stun. Crusher is really good because it adds DOT to your abilities and gives you a lot faster basic attacks, which you can use with Hydras to burst down opponents. Void Shield is pretty good since he's normally in close quarters when fighting, gives you power and physical protections as well as reducing the opponent's physical protections for your entire team. Ansel is a pretty good item against mages, especially mage junglers. It gives you magical protections, power, cooldown reduction, and the passive, when struck by a magical ability, releases a wave silencing nearby enemies for 1 second. Titan Bane is a good item to use against tank gods. It gives you power and a ton of physical penetration. Johnson's Wrath is another decent item. It gives you 20% cooldown, 10 penetration, 150 mana, and 40 power. Glad Shield can be a good item on Achilles. It synergizes with his Radiant Glory ability, allowing him to heal a lot of health. Brawler's Beat Stick is a good item to use against teams with a lot of healing or lifesteal. Gives 15 pin, 40 power, and reduces enemies' health, healing, and regen by 40% when you hit them with abilities. Not basic attacks, this only procs on abilities, keep that in mind. Mantle of Discord is a good defense item. Since you're always in close quarters, when you get to low health, this item releases a wave stunning nearby enemies and gives you CC immunity for a short time. It also gives you both physical and magical protection, 60 each, as well as 10% cooldown reduction. Masamune is a good item if you want to be a little more tanky. It gives you 7 protections for each enemy god around you. This is a really good item for teams that group up a lot. Winged Blade is a good item to counter pesky slows. Runic Shield is a good item to counter mages early by giving you protections and reducing their power by 50 in an aura. Bloodforge is an okay item because of the shield passive. It gives you a 200 health shield every time you kill an enemy god. Now that we've established a decent spread of items, let's look at the goddess that can be difficult for Achilles to face. Achilles can struggle really against Ao Kuang. Because Ao Kuang has a high burst damage, he can burst Achilles down before he can get any of his abilities off. And after all of Achilles' abilities are distinguished, Ao Kuang also has the lifesteal to top that. Next, Erlang Shen. Erlang Shen just has extremely high base damage. He also has that shield off of his turtle, which also has high base damage. And his basic attacks are faster than Achilles, as well as having that dog, which takes a percentage of your max health and a percentage of your health in general. Hebro is really a counter to Achilles major, because Hebro has a lot of range as well as the low cooldowns on his 1. He can outpoke Achilles by using his whirlpool or whatever the knockup is. And he can also use his 1, which it's Hebro. There's nothing more to say. Mercury also can outrange Achilles and out basic attack him because of his crit. He'll do a lot of damage and burst Achilles down really quick. Nezhao is the same, especially with his 3, which grabs you, and it also his 1, which reduces your protections by a lot if it chains on you. Pele can be another problem because of her knockup and then her fast burst damage she can do within that 1 knockup chain. Ratatoskr can be another problem because he has the ability to protection shred when he uses his whirlwind, and he can also dash and slow Achilles and just basic attack him to death. Serket is another problem because of her taunt. Serket is another problem because of her taunt. Her taunt can put you in a bad position, and she can use that taunt to initiate with her 1, which does a lot of damage because it can proc crit items. So just look out for these gods when you're picking Achilles. Some not consequential, but like some minor threats I'd say would be Bastet, because Bastet does have a lot of range, but if Achilles can stun Bastet, the stun is almost long enough to keep Bastet from jumping again, and even if she does jump again, you can burst her down and probably almost kill her. Camelzot, you have to be careful with him because of his high healing into his abilities as well as his passive, but if you use your abilities wise, you can easily shut him down. Fenrir is another problem, especially with his fast jump stun and his guaranteed 3 basic attacks, but if you use your stun properly right when he uses his 3, you can cancel out that ability. Some kind of medium threats I would say would be a Willix. Willix has her cripple as well as her really fast attack chain, especially with her knockup and her ult, which gives her a lot of attack speed and power. Daiji can be a really problem because of her DOT damage built into her passive, as well as the high damage on her 1, which almost equals damage of a Loki. Especially with her teleport, she can easily initiate on Achilles. Hunbass can be another problem. He has a lot of range. He also has a teleport that he can use to easily initiate on Achilles, as well as his ult, which is a fear, which gives him like almost 3 seconds to just wham on you without you being able to do anything unless you have beads. Nemesis is a real problem against him because of her ult. Nemesis's ult takes away your protections and reduces your health and gives it to her, so she can be a really mean target to try to fight. Raven has really fast basic attack chains as well as his passive, which gives him the shield every 8 basic attacks / abilities, because his abilities proc that as well, so you just gotta watch out for him. He also has the slow and the built-in heal, as well as this damage and CC immunity on his 2. His ult can be used to initiate, and it reduces your protections and increases his. Susano is another problem. His pull and all of his just AoE attacks are really annoying to play against, so you just want to watch out for that. He does extremely high damage, especially with his ult, so yeah, be wary of these characters. Well, sorry, that about wraps up the video, so be sure to leave a comment if you guys have any questions or if you think I said anything wrong. Also, this video is going to continue to go. If you would like to just continue watching and just look at the gameplay that I have in the background. Unfortunately, we do lose this game. We end up surrendering because our solo lane loses too badly to the chalk, and it just really just throws our entire team comp off. Anyway, thanks you guys for watching. You already know this is VegitoRED Gaming. Be sure to subscribe if you're enjoying the content. If you guys would like to see me post specific guides or specific rules, or like how to play certain maps or whatever, just leave a comment down in the description below. You already know. Come on, it's basics, you know. Hit that bell icon, you know, if you want to get notified when I post. Also, be sure to check out my Discord channel. That's going to be in the description below as well. My Twitch channel is going to be down there. I do streams on like almost a daily basis, depending. And yeah, I'm going to be trying to kickstart this series of Smite and other games. Can't wait for Rust to come out. So yeah, catch you guys later.
Eagle double G. Eagle double G. Top dog, bite them all, yeah, I'm burning it up. DPGC, you should be turning it up. CPT, LBC, yeah, we hooking back up. And when they bang us in the club, baby, you got to get up. Cause homies, thug homies, yeah, they giving it up. Low lie, yo lie, boy, we living it up. Taking chances while we dancing in the party for show. Slip my girl a 44 when she crept in the back door. Chickens looking at me strange, but you know I don't care. Step up in this mother, just a swank in my hair.